All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. How we doing today? That man is playing Galaga? Thought we wouldn't notice what we did. What is Galaga? What's up, Cuban? Good evening. Welcome back to an I don't know what this is. I'm gonna need some I'm gonna need a TLDR. Is this a game? Yeah, so today I want to start to focus these live streams a little bit more. Try to keep the squirreling to a minimal. And hey, great morning. How you doing? What's up, Sharma? So let me do a hard refresh because overnight, I didn't check this morning, but overnight I told it, yes, there we go. So I feel like this should go down. This should go up. Routing, floor plan options. Talk about the focus this week. Yeah, I want to start focusing these live streams rather than jumping around, right? So the focus for this week, we're going to be focusing on OpenClaw. Not just on Claw Crib, but I'm going to be working on these live streams predominantly out of OpenClaw. Next week is going to be a Hermes agent week, and then we'll make sure we set the date for the bootcamp next week. Not that it's starting next week. What I mean is we're going to pick a date, and that's going to be the date where we start that bootcamp. So we're going to work on the bootcamp curriculum and everything during the live streams next week. So I'm looking forward to it. And the reason I want to start doing this is it just allows me to focus more on one thing. I'm not sure if anybody's read that book. Yeah, it's over there. You can't see it, but it's called The One Thing. And while multitasking is great, while vibe coding kind of enables us to multitask more and more, it's easy to get scattered and not make progress on one thing at a time, right? There's more to that book, of course, but there's a quote from Avengers, I think. Interesting. Oh, are you talking about this this thumbnail that we used, that we made? Could be. No, Galaga. That's funny. But I just want to start focusing these live streams a little bit more intentionally. And of course, we're going to squirrel. That's what we do. But I'm going to try to do it less and less. So, yeah. Hey, how's everyone doing this week? What's everyone working on? All right. Let's pull up CMux. Compacted. Kind of want to pop that in. Pop that in. All right. I feel like this is loud. Could be wrong. Is that music too loud? There we go. And forgive the dumpsters outside, you know? Yo, what's up, John? How we doing today? And you know what? My apologies. I usually am very good with names. I know you gave me your name. Let me think about it. It'll come to mind. I feel like I've been kicked back to the Stone Ages just for the simple fact Fable was getting a lot of work done, especially for someone who's just starting to build his own stuff less than a month ago. And now I have to use, yeah. Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Listen, it's a bummer what happened. It is. But let's not think that it's the end of the world. Let's not think that, believe people who say it's the end of the world, or think that it's never coming back. It's not gone for good. It'll be back. We don't know when. We don't know what guardrails they're going to put in place. It'll be back. Like, I find it hard to believe that it's just gone. Funny you should say less squirreling. I just set up my agent to help me with deep work slots and arrange my calendar in such a way that I have more deep work sessions. Nice, nice. Yeah, one thing I've personally found is mornings. Mornings I get the most done. That's when you're able to actually do the deep work, especially before 9 a.m. Yeah, but I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. That's awesome. Looking forward to seeing, you know, how you do, what progress you make, how that helps, you know. I hope you're willing to share. Now, I want to make a quick little note about the Discord. We're undergoing, you know, some changes. You didn't see much. I added a lot on the back end, and we're going to continue testing, but we're undergoing phase 1 right now. Phase 2 is when I do the snapshot and open up the Discord. Rather, that's technically phase 3. Phase 2, I still have some more back end work to do, but I encourage everybody, if you're in the Discord, try to break pinch. I want you to stress test them, because this is going to be our community bot when we do open up Discord. OGs are going to have their own bot. Clay was revived, as you can see here on the right. He's going to be an OG bot. Duke is going to be our VIP bot. More about Duke in the coming weeks, right? But just stress test the heck out of pinch. Pebbles did a great, just a great back and forth where pinch was just, he was given too much. He was given too much. So I had to set some rules. I set some rules with Muddy, did a gateway restart right before the stream. So his responses should be much briefer. I think it's max 60, roughly 60 characters for more detailed responses. And then obviously he's not, you know, I'm going to start doing these TLDR news updates in the morning via pinch, just like the most notable news overnight. And, you know, mostly like he shouldn't be exceeding 15 characters. Like between 15 to 60 characters is essentially what we limited him to. So Calvin, okay, forgive me, Calvin. Now I won't forget. Every day, shh, Calvin. I pride myself in my ability to you know, remember everybody, and sometimes, you know, one or two I'll kind of lose track. But I know as this channel grows, it's just going to become more and more difficult. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. My personal agent Hermes is getting on point. However, Insight seems to make my agent a little bit more daft than Honcho. Interesting. What about holographic, the built-in feature, the built-in solution? And let me rephrase that. It's technically not built in and enabled by default, but it's a local first solution that you can deploy onto your Hermes agent system. So you don't need a third party. You don't need API keys. You don't need to set up another memory plugin somewhere else and then connect it to your Hermes. You already know, Calvin. Appreciate you. So I've personally been testing holographic on my Hermes agent system because I'm a big believer for justify the need to deploy something like Honcho or Hindsight. I think at some point I'm going to deploy a memory OS, but I just don't need it yet, so I'm not going to do it, you know? All right. So I want to improve the pathing. We'll run some tests, and we also have to make sure that the subagents always show up in the bullpen. That's another thing. And then I think it should be intelligent to know wherever we are as far as looking. It should hide these walls and then show the opposing walls. So I think by default, right, it's anchoring here. What's cool is we do see our workboard. It's kind of stretched out. I think this conference room for our floor plan, we're gonna move it up to the top right. I also incorporated, I don't know if I did this on the live stream last time, but you can now group your agents. Because there's really no way, like, I have my agents organized in a certain way where they're in their own directories and then their own workspaces, but the OpenClaw config and Claw Crib can't really like identify with that. So I have to either create the onboarding process or create this organized feature, which I think this is good enough for now. But I think, yeah. Yo, what's up, Maxi? How you doing today? How do you manage agents or skills in Hermes? Because it uses skills pretty much, but how you prompt engineer to use agents, or is it not necessary? I would say talk to it more like an agent. I think where you need skills most, in my opinion, is repeatable tasks and workflows. If you're going to set a cron for a repeatable workflow or task to remove any friction from your day-to-day or your employees' day-to-day, have a skill tied to it. So you essentially tell the cron what the frequency is, what tool's being called, rather not even what tool's being called, but what model's being used. And then in the skill, you can specify what tools are needed. You can specify the exact workflow, and you'll find that you'll start to get more consistent outputs when you do a cron plus skill combo. That would be my approach, and I hope I didn't misinterpret your question there. Didn't try holographic, carried my honcho into Hermes, then switched to hindsight. It's just been a week. See if it evolves. Yeah. Are you talking about pinch? I think you're talking about pinch. So it's all in his memory files. Because he doesn't respond based off of a cron. He responds, he's a real time, he's running like 24/7. He responds if he's tagged, if he's replied to in a thread, or not even in a thread, just if somebody replies to one of his comments, or if you say pinch, pinchy, or pinch me. That's the current like rules of operations. He was kind of responding to everybody the past 24 hours, I think, but we just did apply a fix to hopefully resolve that. So, but it's all the changes and rules I'm making are like SOPs I'm adding to his memory files. And let me rephrase that. I'm personally not adding them. I'm asking Muddy to do the heavy lifting for me. Yo, what's up, Aura? How we doing today? You're never late. You're right on time. All right. All right, so I'm noticing an issue sometimes, right? When I send off my main agent to do a task, he delegates. I then start seeing agents moving around, but when I'm looking at the 3D view, they don't follow a path that prevents them from walking through objects. Like right now, I'm watching my main agent walk through a desk, walk through a wall, walk through the bullpen tables. I think we should create paths within the floor plan to ensure that the agents actually walk around these objects rather than through these objects. What's the solution here? Also, given with that, I think on the floor plan, we should add like doors, and I think they should be very wide doors. That way it's clear where they need to walk out of that room. And then on top of that, I want to give you some more work. I'm going to just give you a brain dump here. So the conference room, I think, should be top right. So cut the lounge off, essentially almost halfway, 2/3 of the way there. And then move that conference room into that corner. That way we have a little bit more space to work with. And then I noticed the entry on the floor plan is actually in the executive suite. So when subagents start spinning up, instead of them starting from the bullpen, which is where they're supposed to be, they're supposed to just be at their desks in the bullpen, even if they're idle or not active. I think we should move the entry to the bottom left side of the floor plan. Essentially that empty space at the front of the office. And then on top of that, if it wasn't clear, I would definitely like to always have our subagents being shown in the bullpen itself. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I want to change the styling too. We're gonna improve this isometric 2D. Looks like this doesn't have the same. Interesting. I can't rotate the camera. I can rotate it here. I'm getting used to this. So this is middle click, right click, left click. Oh yeah, that's just baked into his memory. And not only his memory, let's let me just pull this off screen really quick to make sure it's not exposing anything in that chat. All right, so this is what we're doing first. Now, it might not be a bad idea to create a skill for it. But what Muddy did is he updated Pinch's live workspace rules in, this is my directory for all the community bots workspaces, agent, soul, tools, and memory files. Public community replies are now capped by policy, 1 short paragraph, 1 to 3 sentences. So I want to stress test this, right? My initial test did come back okay, but it's also, I can't really thoroughly test with my Discord user ID because my Discord user ID is allowed to do a lot. Now, I did limit him from listening to me in public chats. I have private one-on-one chats with all the bots so that I can come in here and talk to him, right? And have him set tasks, he can create workboard tasks, which then get picked up by Muddy if it's a system-wide change. Or something that he can't handle, right? Because Pinch is also on a very limited, yeah, you see how everyone's like running through these offices? I hate that. We gotta fix that. And it's because of the entry of the room is here. So as soon as Opus comes back and fixes that, hopefully they should A, start chilling at their desks, but B, if there's like one-time subagents or session spawns that come up, they should just come in through here, right? And then I think I want some inspiration. I don't like how these look. I want to change the characters. Let's also do a quick test. I'm just going to type in pinch me in Discord. Oh, I wrote Discord. Let me delete that message. Pinch me. Clipping. What are you talking about, clipping? Interesting is he's typing in Discord. You would expect for him to be thinking here, but he's not. There's a clear disconnect here. Oh, there he is. Okay. There's a slight delay, but it works. Interesting. These guys are kicking off some crons because I didn't trigger them manually. So this is some day-to-day ops that's happening that I'll have to review in a little bit. Don't like how I'll give some long hair a different color. What? Maybe I haven't had enough coffee. What? I noticed one of my briefs is just way too long, and I was thinking about modifying the cron to limit it. That's why I asked. Oh, okay. Yeah, so in that particular case, when you have a cron, that's where you limit it in the skill, in my opinion, right? Because I think that the best way to configure those two, I've found, for the most consistent and reliable outputs are having the cron handle the setup, the scheduling and all that, and then having the skill get specific as to formatting, length, etc., etc. You're getting my point. So it's not only the step-by-step it takes, but it's also the output that you specify in the skill itself. Okay, interesting. Wait for... Can you guys see that part of the screen? Oh, you can't. Let me bring this up so you can at least see what he's working on. So we have this little to-do list top left. So I know there's been a lot of information over the weekend after this whole Fable 5 stuff. Anything that you stumbled upon worth mentioning, especially on the local model side? Yeah, so, you know, one initial thought that I had is like, for clients of mine, for new bids that I'm working on, for these retainers that I'm offering, that I'm getting clients on board with, it's like, this is a very eye-opening reality that at any given moment, a frontier model can revoke access to a model. Now, I don't use Anthropic models for AI agent systems. I use OpenAI because they allow it. And they've been very vocal with allowing it. I've been testing Grok. I'm not sure how I feel about Grok yet, but you know, I think it's always very important to have some type of backup in place. You know, I really want to set up local models. I'm just restricted with hardware, right? And I don't want to set up a model that's not going to perform just as good, right? Because that's just going to mess up my experience, right? But from the perspective of clients, having backups in place is going to be very important. Having fallbacks in place is going to be very important, right? But then also explaining that, you know, we could always reach a point in time where one of these frontier models, notably OpenAI, decides to revoke access to, you know, one of its models that we're using as the primary. So we do need to create fallback mechanisms in general for our AI agent systems. You know, Kimmy comes top of mind. It looks like Sharma actually just commented Kimmy. I'm actually guilty. I need to respond to a rep at Kimmy. I have some free API usage. I think it's time I start testing it. Got it. I see what you mean. Well, I think I'm going to get away from them being rounded. You know, I want to make them look a little bit different. So we're about to go through Google Images just to get some inspiration, you know? Yeah, listen, I mean, as long as they're not limiting the models in any way, like, I think it's always smart to know what's out there, know what you can use, stick with what works for you, right? Like, the reason I'm sticking with GPT-5 for my agent systems and not even exploring API usage is A, it saves the clients money, and B, they're the only frontier model aside from Grok, if you consider it a frontier model, who have openly said you can use your subscriptions with AI agents, namely OpenClaw and Hermes agent. That's peace of mind right there. Yes, it may not perform the same way as a Fable 5, which now is off the market as we saw, but it's peace of mind, right? Like, peace of mind is priceless, especially for clients who want reliability in their agent systems, you know? Yeah, and then from the perspective of running it locally for businesses, like, yes, in theory, once it's running, it should run, but that's an opportunity for you to sell a maintenance contract because, you know, maybe they don't have somebody in-house who can maintain that, who could troubleshoot any bugs that may arise. Because listen, locally would be great, but you need A, the hardware, and B, someone who knows what they're doing if something happens to the hardware itself, if you have to do anything, right? Like, you can't just hand it off and say 24/7 uptime. No, 24/7 uptime depends on a number of different factors that are, you know, outside of the local model's responsibilities. So there's a lot of different things to think about from that perspective. But yeah, this weekend, you know, I've been working on, you guys saw one of the two videos, right? I didn't show the price. I didn't show all of the deliverables I'm offering with my retainer. But I'm essentially routing all inbound leads through a certain path. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm just tired of doing project-based bids. They're fun. They make me a lot of money, but they're not consistent. I want consistency. So, you know, I don't want to speak too much on it, right? I really want to, A, respect client privacy, but B, you know, when I'm still going through the discovery phase of trying to figure out what the deliverables are, as well as what we can offer, like as far as building out a local model solution for them, then we have to spec out the hardware for them, right? So I'm creating that option, and having answers ready and knowing how much that's going to cost for a client, depending on what local model we think they need, right? Let's go look for some inspiration in the meantime. Oh, these might be too realistic. Ooh. Oh, this looks like something out of what's that show? I'm having a brain fart. The show where they have chips in their brains and when they get to work they're a whole different person. Man, it's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. Interesting. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Yeah, you know what? I really like these renderings. Let's see what Opus can do. I would have been more confident in Fable on this, but we shall see. Actually, before I even prompt that, let's go test what it's done here. Let's go verify here. All 5 changes are in. Pathing plus doors, the walkthrough fix, corridor ring now wraps around the bullpen on all 4 sides. Plan.nav, the shared walker routes, every trip along those lanes. Okay. Now we need to make sure that the people aren't walking through each other. Rooms have wide doors. Layout ask, conference, move to the top right corner, lounge cut back to the west, 2/3 of the north wall, entry move to the bottom left, open floor. Okay. Let's do a hard refresh, shall we? Nice. Nice. All right. Now we need also some references. We'll test the pathing here in a moment. Ooh, what is this? Man. Let's see if we can pull this off. Let's see if we can. Severance. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Yes. So I kept thinking, I knew it was an S and I wanted to say succession, but I knew it wasn't succession. Yes, that 3D render reminded me of Severance. Excuse me. Oh, really? Yep. Sharma, Severance. You guys got it. Yeah. And I've been, listen, I've been building in public as much as possible. I've been very transparent as much as I can, right? But the one thing I can't share is client work here. It's not that I sign any NDAs for any of these clients, but it's just that a matter of professionalism, right? I'm not one to brag about how much money I make. I know there's a lot of creators out there who want to do it, but that's just not what I believe in, right? I try to avoid clickbaiting at all costs. Now, one could argue one of those two videos was kind of clickbaity, but in my defense, I had never packaged a video in that way with a number on the thumbnail, and I just wanted to see what would happen, to be honest. And I was very transparent in the first few seconds of the video starting, right? Like, this is a goal, it's not a flex. This is not, like, I'm not trying to mislead you, right? Like, we're not there yet. We're only a fraction of the way there. And I mean, you probably have the right interpretation there. I hate to say it like that, right? But I do work with a specific target audience who makes between a certain amount annually. So I know that they can't afford what I'm asking. I generally learn that through the discovery phase before I even offer the retainer, right? Like, I get an idea of whether or not a company can afford me, getting to know them and knowing what services they offer. And indirectly, they don't tell me how much they make annually, but I can figure it out, right? Anybody can figure it out. Yeah, my Hermes model runs on Grok 4.3 max, but I'm using Claude Code Terminal to tweak my Hermes agent, and the backup is Quen, both models, the 36B and the 122B on my DGX. I'm still jealous, man. Love it. Nice DGX. I actually got to reach out to NVIDIA. I need to finish that partner portal this week, so I crossed that off my list. And I also need to bring in some old stale items in Clearmud OS for partnerships as well. Okay. We'll have to do it. Well, I am building this in Opus, right? So here's also the goal for Claw Crib is I want it to be a completely free resource, right? All you have to do is invoke npx Claw Crib on your terminal wherever you have OpenClaw deployed. And then what it will do is it will link with your OpenClaw gateway, and it will create its own dedicated web server, dedicated port within wherever your OpenClaw system is hosted, so that you can then view your crib as a real-time stream. That's it, right? There's going to be no storing of data. There's going to I'm going to obviously set certain rules to make sure never expose private keys, etc. But it's going to be something that you can install locally, right? The repository will be public. It will be open source, but I'm trying to take the necessary steps to get there because I've never built anything like this. So first we're focused on the product itself. Then we're going to start focusing on the back end, on how it gets installed, on how to make sure that people have peace of mind knowing that it's not going to try to steal your API keys and feed it to me. Listen, I would never do this, but not everybody, trusts everybody, right? And rightfully so, right? You shouldn't trust strangers on the internet. But I think you can trust people who put themselves out there, faces out there, names out there, companies out there, like myself, like a number of other YouTube creators / devs / people in the space who, you can tell they're reputable. You can tell they would never take advantage of you. Yeah, I had a thought to that, but I'm actually going to stop talking there. I'm going to stop talking there because that would lead me down a squirrel path. See, I'm doing better. I'm trying not to squirrel here. Yeah, of course. That's why I keep saying to you. That's why I gravitate me towards your work. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Keep up the great work. It's nice to be cocky, but also humble. Yeah. Listen, I mean, I think, you know, my goal here, obviously, it's making AI simple and easy to use. I sometimes lose track of that. But that's something I ask myself every day, and I'm not even bullshitting you. It's something I ask myself every day before I record something. When I look at the end of the week and kind of look back at the week, like, did I make it simple and easy to use at some level, right? I'm trying not to steer away from that. So, you know, the whole cocky side, I don't think I would ever do this. Maybe from a certain perspective, but never just to be cocky, right? So listen, I appreciate your support, man. I really do. I almost just called you Devin. It's Calvin. Yep. See, I'm remembering. I'll never forget. Calvin, thank you. I appreciate you. So I have a small local model that basically runs my Python script. I've found that it seems to be pretty reliable as long as the Python script does it all. Yeah. That's solid. What local model, out of curiosity? And if you don't mind sharing, like, and this is not only for me, but for the audience to know, like, what type of automation is this? What's involved? And what local model are you pulling it off with? I'd be curious to know. What's been shaking, eggs and bacon? What's up, Matthew? How we doing today? Curious to know if your Hermes agent delegation got dialed in. Also, you get NVIDIA products. We need to be on your Tailscale network or whatever you use. Patch us in. Pardon my shamelessness. I will be reaching out to NVIDIA. I will be reaching out to NVIDIA for sure. But I'm going to be doing it through the channel of the old retail computer store that I used to run, that I grew up in. I just need to find the right contact. I'm first going to try to dig up that old contact of that rep who stopped by the office. This was like 10 years ago now, so I don't even know if he's still working for NVIDIA, but that's where I'm going to start. You know, I'm going to try to start with somebody I know at NVIDIA. I just need to hunt down that contact. All right, sorry about that. I'm trying to start being more mindful of camera, not just... I won't be that transparent with you guys. Okay, I'll tell you. I was just picking my nose. I was just digging for gold. So I had to turn off the video. I was sort of kidding on the Blender skill, but I saw a video testing Blender skill with different models. Listen, it's not going to be a bad idea to ask Opus about this, you know? Yeah. I think depending on the perspective, right? I think yes and no. I'm going to have to disagree with you there a little bit because cocky could be arrogance as well. And I don't think any level of arrogance is healthy, right? Like, I think confidence, yes. But to me, knowledge equals confidence, right? The more you know, the more confident you are in what you know. Cocky is to me, this is just my perspective, and I will always push back when I don't agree with something. I think from a certain perspective, yes, cocky equals confidence, but not from all perspectives. All right. So let's kick off a bunch of tests. First, let's interesting. What was that? 13 minutes ago? Was I restarting the gate? Interesting. Pinch just ignored pebbles now. Don't you ever ignore Peter. Thank you, Peter. But looks like Pinch is just deciding to not... Unless that's his default to not giving away. Interesting. What's going on with Pinch? Let me ping him in our private chat. Hello? No, he's in our private chat responding. Here, let me make this smaller and I'll bring this in. Okay, he's there. I need to figure out why he didn't just respond. We didn't restart the gateway. I noticed like every time I restart the gateway, if somebody messages him during the restart, yes, he won't respond, obviously, because he's dependent on the gateway. But that's because we've been doing a lot of fine tuning and having to restart the gateway quite frequently these past, 72 hours. Okay, there he is. He did just walk through the desk though, didn't he? Let me do a hard refresh. Okay. And let me be sure. Let's open up a private tab. Oh, the viewpoint gets reset in a whole new browser. So we need to be able to save building, essentially save the room states. Okay. Let's just test this. We'll add clay to room 2, dupe to room 2, pinch to room 2. Yeah, so this looks identical, right? So I think that's okay, but I just want to see. Wait. Oh, he actually walked between the desks. I'm proud of him. Nice. All right, there's a clear door. We'll work on that glass. Let's see. Let's follow his path. I think I should spin off a whole bunch of test prompts as well. I'll work with Muddy and Telegram here. That way I don't have to keep tabbing over. Look at the pathing. Look at the pathing. Walking through the door between. Oh no, he kind of crossed me. Okay. All right, so I have a big brain dump for you here. I just attached those 3 images because I would like our 3D room viewpoint to render based off of this inspiration. I want you to analyze these photos. Tell me, A, is it possible with our current tech stack and Three.js? Or B, do we need to somehow integrate a render skill or plugin into this web app, but then B, our OpenClaw system? I don't think it would need to be our OpenClaw system. I was just testing the pathing, and at first, pinch in room 2, he walked through the door between the desks. He didn't touch anything in the bullpen, which is great, but on his route back, he walked through 2 desks in his room. So the routing isn't perfect. And it needs to be, I guess, not perfect. It just needs to not clip any objects in the office. That's the main goal, right? And then I might as well add this to your list. I'm going to start testing a whole bunch of other agents in parallel. We got to make sure that the agents don't run into each other on these viewpoints, right? That they also don't clip or overlap in any way. All right. So we can close that. We can work out of here. Oh, also, I'm noticing when I test Claw Crib in a fresh private browser, it resets the room names and how each agent is tied into what office, or what room rather. I think that there should be an option for us to create different profiles that we can save, right? That way, like, let's say we call building name Claw Crib version 1 and we pick a certain room layout, etc., etc. That should be able to save. That way, if I do load a private browser, it has records that has a saved building, right? Or a saved floor plan. I think we should allow ideally an unlimited number of different layouts, but let's just start with 3. But I think once you wire this in properly, we should be able to do as many as we'd like. Add this to your list, continue what you were doing. Yeah, I think it's very important. I think this is very important to be humble. I honestly don't trust those who aren't. That's just me. Pinch is holding a grudge from making it work too hard. Yeah. All good, all good. Welcome back. Also, I'm going to steer away from my normal rule of only inviting to Discord at the end of streams. We'll send out some invites right now really quickly. Yeah, this is a good question. So I think on my list is like, do we want to incorporate, we kind of briefly went through this, floor plan options or a custom floor plan builder. So everything in Claw Crib in 2D and 3D is based off of the floor plan, right? This is like that source of truth. And then depending on how this floor plan is laid out, it reflects in its 2D isometric and 3D views. I'm thinking that we would have to do the floor plan from this perspective. That way, once you set this floor plan here, it reflects in 2D and 3D. That way we can start creating hallways into other offices if we wanted to. All right, something else to add to your list after all that. I think I want to incorporate a floor plan builder. I think it should happen on the blueprint, the plan viewpoint first. Because based off of the plan viewpoint, our 2D and 3D views reflect that floor plan. So I would like to give users the option to create their own floor plans, right? What's incorporated with all this? Before you just blindly integrate and build this, do you think this is a good idea? Or is this something we should incorporate into our Claw Crib onboarding mechanism that we have yet to develop? Part of me is thinking we should keep this simple for version 1 release. And then that could be a feature we incorporate in version 2. Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, Sharma, like there's so many things I want to do, but I also want to think from the perspective of just shipping the damn thing. Excuse my language. So I think I want to keep things simple at first. But I think this is something we should definitely incorporate into, 0.2 version of this, because this is technically what, the third time we're rebuilding Claw Crib. But I think it's obviously like by far my favorite version of it because it's just so simple. And it's something that does not come pre-built within OpenClaw, right? So like this fills a need. I've already looked into trying to add a plugin, a menu option. We can't do that without affecting the code base. And with each new OpenClaw update, that menu option would be replaced. So that's why we have to take this direction of having it spin up its own dev server with its own port using bun run dev, right? That's also something we're going to have to look into. I think it's going to have to be dependent on the packages that you have on your OpenClaw system, whether that's npm, npx, or npm, pnpm, bun. What's the other one? I'm having a brain fart, but there's another popular one as well. Oh, these are kind of cool. These are kind of cool. Interesting. They're kind of funny looking. Huh. Or should we make them look more like agents, right? Maybe we don't make them look like humans. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. Interesting. Or we do little floating bots like this. This reminds me, isn't this like the Discord mascot? This one just looks way too funny. Unless we do like a red one, like a lobster. Also, I think that our bots for our agents, that right, the characters, so to speak. Check out this image. Now, this is only a 2D image showing you the front-facing part of the bot, but I really love the look and feel of this bot. So let's use this as our primary kind of character render. Let me know if you have any questions. Is it cutting off my mic? Interesting. I might have to reposition this whole streaming desk, because I had to do a lot to this mic just to get it to work where it's at. Yeah, I mean, isn't it simply just setting a goal with your agent? I mean, our OpenClaw agents could run agent loops. Hermes agents can run agent loops. Now I know there's a / goal within Codex, within, I don't know if it's within Claude Desktop yet or Claude Code yet. But that essentially creates that agent loop. Is that what you're referencing? Then you can also, in theory, build your own agent loop with crons. Like, I think it's just, you know, these new like phrases and terminology, they're just repackaging. They're just explaining things that are already possible. It's just, it takes more step to configure those loops. If I'm understanding your question correctly. Nice. Okay. Yep. I already made that decision to add it in there from Wally. Nice. I mean, I personally love voxel. But I feel like it's overplayed. Plus, it doesn't fit well with 3D rendering. I feel like the voxel is more of a 2D isometric. Right? Like, this is really cool looking. I think we're going to use this for the 2D viewpoint. Right? Not this specifically, but this is a reference. Yeah, and then for our 2D isometric, I want our agent bots to look a little bit different, right? Here's a reference of an example of a voxel style character that I really want to use as inspiration. Don't just copy it outright. Right? So to be clear, right? Our floor plan agents are dots. Our 2D isometric agent viewpoints are this style. And then my last prompt gave you a reference of how I want our 3D agents to look like. All right, cool. Let's just look through Three.js just for fun. Look at this little thing. Interesting. Let's play a little game, shall we? A little Frogger action. Ah! Uh-oh. And I'm dead. That's cool. That's cool. That was very loud, forgive me. I'm gonna do a hard refresh. Ah, it didn't save. Okay, nice. Guess that's okay for version 1. And it should have auto-saved, right? Alright. Now let's hit new. Building 2, it resets, go back to version 1. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. Alright. It was doing a whole bunch of work, right? Let's be patient and wait. I don't see any change in the render though. So we shall wait. Yo, what's up, Fourth? How we doing today? Messing with open routers, Fusion API inside open code, trying to get that Fable-like implementation plan in production again. Nice, nice. I mean, do you still have that code base? I want you to do it all, right? Do it all in the order that you think is most efficient, and also the order that you can work on most in parallel, right? Let me know if you have any questions. I gave you all those prompts because I wanted you to handle it. I don't want to do these things one at a time. I'd rather just have you handle it in the order that you think is best. All right. Okay, now I can test. So I'll test that in a moment. Okay. All right. Hey, Muddy, do me a favor. I want you to just run a test. I want you to delegate one task to each chief of staff. And then I want each chief of staff to delegate one task to every single subagent in their arsenal. All right, so we should see this thing going crazy here in a moment. OpenClaw today, Isaiah. I'm probably going to focus OpenClaw this week and then Hermes next week. And by the end of next week, we'll decide on the date for the completely free Hermes bootcamp, where we're just going to be building a system live from scratch. Codebase? This is for future features I want to bake in. Ah, okay. I thought that you had been working out of Fable 5 and you were trying to recreate the work you did in Fable 5. That was my misunderstanding of your comment, so forgive me. And I was thinking to myself, why not just use the code base it gave you initially? You know what I mean? But right on, right on. Best practices, prompt engineering, prompting, Claude Fable 5. Yeah, I mean, RIP, but it'll be back. It'll be back. It's not gone for good. It's just on a sabbatical. Okay, so... Oh, look at that! Look at that! It gave it a boxy look by default. It's not rounded, but that's okay. Let's go check 2D. 2D is still OG. Plan. I think what we'll eventually do is create lucid icon rules. For now, the dots work just fine. I think that's okay. I still don't see some of the changes. I'm just gonna have to be patient. Hey, look at that. Look at that. They're looking cool. I'm not mad at it. This says they error out. Red means error, but like, what? They're working. Like, why do they default as error? All right. Okay. All right, so like, he's literally just doing the work right now. You'll see, like, it'll just keep expanding. Oh, he stopped showing his tool calling. That's a bummer. He was showing his tool calling, and it was just spinning up task after task. Look at this. They don't overlap. They fall in a line. That's hilarious. No! Damn it. So close. They walk through a plant. How dare they? Oh, come on. Come on. So close. But for the most part, like, solid. Now Warren's going back out. Oh, why are you... Come on, my guy. I think the problem here is... Well, no. There is actually... Wait, let's see. The link give prompt example. Oh, I didn't see a link. I was wondering... Let's see. You said you gave a link? I don't even see that YouTube blocked it. Interesting. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of this, right? Like, listen, for productivity, this tool it's not for that. This tool is something that you can keep on a dedicated monitor or a dedicated picture-in-picture floating module to where you can just see real time if A, are your agents working, B, what are they working on? And it's just a fun little screensaver effect, right? Aha, okay, nice. So I'm guessing these docs here you were referencing. Nice. I'll have to read through that in a little bit. I mean, you know, it's not going to be perfect out the gate. Interesting. They're calling it Gary delegation, but not the name of the agent itself or the subagent itself. So I want to screenshot that. I also want to screenshot that. Look at that. They're facing off right there. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are they just stuck? Are they just stuck? Interesting what these tasks, like, very interesting. They're just stuck now. It's hard to refresh. Oh no, does the hard refresh No? That's weird. So maybe that was a UI glitch and they had already made it back? I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Bruh. Okay. I mean, these look like kind of cool. I think the scale is off here. They're all getting stuck right here. Let's see, is it the same on 3D? Yep, it's the same on 3D. Interesting. Oh, it actually didn't run what I asked it to run. First path hit a real routing guard. Direct session send to chief main sessions is currently blocked by session visibility. I'm switching to clean child sessions with the chief IDs, so the test still exercises delegation without changing config. Interesting. I'll have to prompt that one more time. All right, I'm noticing some issue with pathing. Sometimes agents will have a standoff and they'll just be stuck in place like this. And then I have to hard refresh, but then it refreshes obviously what the agents are doing, where they are in the office. Also, there's some clipping happening with one of the objects at the front of the office. All the agents are run through this plant in all viewpoints. All right, let me pull this out so I can prompt off screen. Hey, Muddy. I tried sending you this request in Telegram, but it was blocked. So we need to look at Telegram permissions. But nevertheless, I'm testing a new app that we're building, and I want you to just delegate a task to every single chief of staff that then instructs them to delegate a task to every single subagent in their arsenal. I essentially am creating an always on agent visibility room where I can see what the agents are doing, which agents are being spun up. And I'm just essentially testing the movement of all the characters in this space. So let me know if you have any questions on that. This dude has, oh, he's backing up. That's hilarious. Oh, hey, look at that. They fixed their routing there. That was interesting. They had to make room for Elon to get to his desk, and then they continued on. That's hilarious. Oh, let's see what happens here. Face off. Oh, and then did a hard refresh because it's working. That's a bummer. All right, we'll let it do its work here really quickly. I'll keep this off to the right. Pull this over to the left. I think it's probably the right move there. That way this is always on the right. All right. Quick power break. BRB. All right, we are back. Plant clipping. Okay, you just got rid of the plant. All right. Interesting. Interesting. Just got to do another gateway restart. Made a few changes. All right, should be back online now. You back online yet? This is weird. Like, what are these guys doing here? Kind of inch through. Interesting. I mean, Muddy's still calling a whole bunch of tools. He's inching through, walking between the desks now. Oh, now he's inching through, sidestepping. Did some weird little route back and forth. Huh. Interesting. Interesting about that. Failed to load, huh? Oh, shoot. Let's catch up on comments. Forgive me. I'm just looking at a whole bunch of stuff on top of OBS. I know, right? Fun little project, you know? Trying to go the same. Show them doing the dance, trying to go the same way. See, it looks like Pinch is back. I didn't trigger him, though. Is somebody else commenting for him? Oh, no, I had asked him to research what people are saying about Claude Fable 5. What's interesting is it didn't show him pick up doing the work at first, only once he posts. Interesting. Like right now, I know Clay and Duke are working, but it's not showing any indicators here. I can see the active sessions. I can see them typing to respond. It's very interesting. Yep, there's Duke. Can you please explain something for me? Like, I'm testing a lot of our community bots in parallel. I'm testing our executives in parallel. And I'm noticing that, generally speaking, only one community bot moves around in the office at a time. When I know for a fact, you know, for example, 2 of the 3 bots are prepping a response as we speak, but it doesn't indicate with the ... like it normally does with our executives, that they are A, calling tools, B, thinking, C, you know, essentially those little dream tooltips that we have on top of our C-suite. Like that should be applicable across all agents, right? What could be causing this conflict? Like the first thing that comes to mind is, well, no, I'm literally watching 3, 4 run at the same time, so I'm not even going to say that thought because it's incorrect. These routing's weird. I mean, Clay did come back around this way, but these side steps are just funky. I guess it's okay for now, but I have Claude planning to switch to codex. At least I can make the most out of it with sub, but then again, Claude is so good at planning that I give my local agents to the artifact and it works. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Probably, yeah. What's interesting is it's actually doing this all incorrectly. So look at this. It's like, it's labeling the task and not the subagent. This is the task it gave it. Elon fan out, right? So he's fanning out to all of his subagents to test, but it's not naming the agent. Another thing to add to your list that I'm noticing on the subagent test, you know, I started off with Muddy, right, our main agent, to delegate out to each executive, to then delegate out to test each and every one of its subagents. But in our 3D view, in particular, in Claw Crib in general, it's showing the session name and not the subagent name. Does that make sense? Here's a screenshot for your reference. Also, I like how things are anchored at first, but if I start moving around the camera view, I Actually, I'm not gonna prompt that one right now. We'll keep it static this way for now. Because of the workboard, if I have this disappear, I'd rather just kind of leave it like this for now. It's a direct reflection. This is awesome. Ooh, posting dispatch failed. I feel like we should show a little bit more text on screen there, but some we can vibe in. Yeah. It's like, how do I explain that? Do I just say they're now sidestepping? Like, also, when you attempted to fix the pathing to make sure they don't like cross, I tried to get a screenshot of it, but now the agents are sidestepping between desks rather than using empty space in the room to walk paths back and forth. It's a bit weird. They technically haven't crossed paths, but now it's like, I feel like there's a more optimal routing path we can create here. It just looks too, I mean, yeah, it does, but like, I feel like they should only do that if this lane is blocked, but now they're all defaulting to this like default lane, right? You see my point? Like, I get the sidestepping and walking through desks if that empty space of the room is full or has other agents walking through it, right? So what's the best approach to properly vibe code this in here to where users don't run into this when they're beta testing, essentially, right? We're just trying to dial things in before we bring on beta testers. Ooh, oh, that reminds me, by the way, Wednesday. I might not live stream. It's the Portugal World Cup game. First game, 10 a.m. So that's 1 hour after live stream normally starts. I think I'm going to go over to my sister's and hang out with my little nephews and watch the game. So I can see the coffee crash coming. No. I think far from it. Just a little bit of a slower morning. Yeah, I'm forcing myself up at, like, I was up until a little past midnight. I'm forcing myself up at 6 a.m. every morning. So this is one of those mornings where I'm running off of a little bit of sleep and I just want to have a consistent wake up time. I'm doing 6 a.m. first, and then we're going back to 5 a.m. like I did in my younger days. Because I honestly miss waking up that early. The amount of critical thought you get done between 5 and 7 a.m. is unparalleled. It's insane, right? But my sleep schedule hasn't been the best. So I'm first focused on just making it a consistent wake up time, forcing myself through the day. That way I naturally get tired at night when it's time to go to bed. And we're not in our younger days anymore. Like I don't pull an all-nighter and then go go do some work. It's no. I'm past my early 20s, late 20s, early 30s. So I think that's what you're seeing, Sharma. That's what you're seeing is forcefully woke up after, I think I only got 5.5 hours, maybe 6 if I was lucky. I didn't keep exact track. I just zombied my way out of bed. Use that API doc to have Hermes look at it and improve its own profiles. We'll see how that goes. Nice, nice. Refresh. You think so? I haven't watched any Egypt matches. I'll be honest, I don't watch them all. But I probably should, because I just want to. So listen, I can't show it on screen, but I'm gonna pull up the game here and just kind of do a picture-in-picture, no audio. Sorry, stream. That's definitely a copyright issue if I try to show the World Cup here. Oh wait, there's a game at 9 a.m. today? So that one's definitely done by now, I think. Yeah. Or it's like extra time. Let's see. No, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, no, it's at 81 minutes. Mute tab. Yeah. Nil. Let's increase the buffering there, because I don't know why it defaults to what it just defaulted to. Cape Verde in Spain. At noon, we have Belgium and Egypt. At 3 p.m., Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. And then at 6 p.m., we have Iran and New Zealand. Let's see, tomorrow, France, Senegal, Iraq and Norway, Argentina and Algeria. I'm guessing that's going to be a popular game. Austria and Jordan. And then Wednesday, we have Portugal and Congo, England and Croatia. Ooh, Ghana and Panama. And Uzbekistan and Colombia. Did anybody watch that Germany game? They were playing, I think it's a country's first time in the World Cup. I forget the country name. It's a very small country. I forget their name. It was tied 1-1, and then I went to do some house cleaning. I come back near the end, it's 6-1. Wild. Like, I don't know if that's a reflection of how Germany's just playing in general. We'll see on game 2, but man. Yeah, 7-1. 7-1, I believe. Right? 7-1 was the last, or did they score an 8th? Germany. Okay, he's still working. Yeah, 7-1. Curacao. Isn't that like the Curacao Islands or something like that? Something in the Caribbean? I think that's a Caribbean-based country. Sounds like it is. Yeah, it's like I feel like there's a time and a place, and maybe I'll still pull some all-nighters in my lifetime, like I used to, but I think those days are numbered, right? And I think that I need to be very selective about how I pull those all-nighters. I'm not opposed to pulling them. I just avoid pulling them because I know the negative effect it has on my energy, productivity, and health, right? Which is, I think, should be the most important aspect or consideration of that, Also, I need to maintain this hair. Oh my goodness, it's getting out of control. Why is that not loading in that browser? Interesting. Is there something going on with our gateway right now? Ooh, I forgot to check thumbnails this morning, actually. No, there appears to be... Let me do a hard refresh on MuddyOS. Ooh, you were loading incredibly slow. Is it just... Interesting. Let me pull that off screen for now. See why it's going so slowly. Ooh, look at this. Thumbnail Lab coming along. So I have 4 different viewpoints that it gives me. Love it. Version 2. With different color schemes and color options. Okay. Room for improvement. It's come a long way since this. What the heck? This was just bad in general. Like, this I didn't like. This is funny, but no. And then we started to incorporate its proper rule of 3 elements. But now I'm going to be replacing, obviously, this 3D avatar with me. But what's really cool about these examples is I kind of like this one here. I can just screenshot this, pull it into image gen 2 on ChatGPT, say replace the 3D character with me, the human, attach my human, and then switch up the background, switch up whatever elements, but like keeping the rule of 3 in place. So yeah, this just gives me ideas. I like it. I like it. What about video props last night? I didn't actually check video props the past 3 days. Whoa, yeah, something happened. Why is that just straight black? Yeah, it's locked up because this VM's locked up. Question is, do I wait for it to finish or resolve itself? There we go. Okay. Ooh, this is a great video prop. This is a great video idea. Huh. We might have to turn this into an idea. All right. What just happened to that VM though? It looks like it rebooted itself. There's no error. Interesting. All right, I think it's time I stop delaying the deployment of that server. I think I should make it a priority to get that up and running by the end of the week, so that by next week I don't have to deal with this anymore. Yeah, that's really annoying. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's because the VM restarted itself. So maybe at that moment where you were trying to get past that handshake, it was unresponsive because it was actually unresponsive. I was dealing with some issues as well. Maybe try again. Then I get my Telegram ping. Recovery. Okay. It's better. It's better. No, sidestepping. Skirt ski. I am ABC. What a great acronym. I've been growing this hair out since 2016, and I've only cut it twice. Well, it's also locked up. Got it locked up into dreadlocks when I was in Nepal in 2019, and I like them. I like them. It's you can say I might have a problem with letting go because I'm just not trying to cut them off entirely, you know. But I have cut off about 2 feet of length, which is wild, and they're pretty long as it is. Like, need Mythos back to finish it, Fable. I mean, I know, right? I know. Yeah, that's a good observation, Sam, because, you know, Mythos, or rather Fable, did help us build this initial new revision, but then we had to switch to Opus, right? That is a bummer. I mean, what does everybody think? You think we're going to get a resolution in a decent time frame, or do you think it's not going to happen for months, if not weeks? And then, of course, who thinks it's just gone? Who thinks Fable is gone and it ain't never coming back? Just running some more tests. This is the fun part of it, huh? When we're building something like this, so unique, something that's going to be free, we're just tediously testing things, you know? I love it. I love it. I hope so. I sure as heck hope so. Watch them bring it back this week, but then not delay the date you can use it with your subscriptions. Wouldn't that be just amazing? They take it offline for a week, but they don't extend the June 22nd deadline to June 29th, for example, for us to use it as a part of our subs. That would be the most Anthropic thing to do. Right there. I wouldn't even be surprised. Wouldn't even be surprised. I hope it's back this week too. I wouldn't say months, maybe weeks. Remember, Trump is in France right now for the G7, and they stuck there. I think he's going to use those levers as crush. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't say so either, right? I think I'm with you. I'm with both of you. I think it's sooner than we think. But the problem is, like, Anthropic is just so damn vague with how they handle things. It's like, you never really know. You never really know. I don't trust what they say. It's the sad reality of Anthropic, right? Of their communication with consumers and just retail and just the public, right? About what they're doing, what their intentions are. They're not as transparent or as open, no pun intended, as OpenAI. Sorry, Peter. I realize I'm ranting and I pinned your comment without talking about it. I'm just happy the GLM team seems to distill fast because my GLM 5.2 is working like, ooh, nice. That's good to hear. All part of America being the front runner and leader. Yeah, he's going to show everyone. Look what we have in our back pocket. We're still, yeah, it's possible. What was interesting is that Amazon called them. Yeah, I mean, Amazon just shows how much power they have. Eesh. Oh, is that really over 0-0? No, did that end? No, it's still on. I want to show my screen so bad, but I don't want to get our channel taken down, so I'm not going to. What's up with that bit rate? I think the game must have just ended. Yep, it just ended. I can close all those tabs. Close, 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 close. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Mr. Baker. How we doing today? Wishing you a happy Monday. What do you got on the list for this week? You know, I wasn't surprised not to see you in chat until now, because this whole live stream is labeled as OpenClaw. And you love Hermes, right? I'm actually very curious. You said that you were testing out OpenClaw. Have you played with it since that last conversation on the live stream? Be very curious to see if you've been playing with it. There is no name field at all. Okay. Shoot. Yeah, you know, it's on my list to give certain subagents their own workspaces, but not their own heartbeats, to be clear. I think it's once I start doing that, then yeah, that's a bummer. Okay. What else is on our list here? I feel like this should be, I think we discussed that that's going to be more like a version 2 thing. Oh, this is actually, that's not even Claw Crib focus. That shouldn't have been in there. Yeah, I don't think we're pushing it live today. I think if anything, it would have to be later this week. Yeah, so subagents aren't supposed to. I'll check with my main agent, but he always delegates to the department head, and then the department head will delegate out to its, you know, create that temporary session for that subagent with the predefined context of what the subagent's responsibilities are, right? So it should definitely be their own agent's color. Ooh, that's something else we should incorporate. I think we should also incorporate a light dark mode toggle for this entire / crib part of the app, right? For people who prefer dark mode office view versus a light mode office view. Now, I know by default the plan mode is dark friendly. I don't think we have to change that unless you think we should. 2D looks like by default it's dark, but then 3D by default it's light. Right, so we have a clear disconnect. I'm wondering if we should create a unified light versus dark mode toggle that replicates across every single viewpoint. We might require some planning for this one, so don't just blindly execute. Analyze the code base, figure out the steps that we have to take to accomplish this, and try to predict any problems or bugs that may arise by doing so. You know, I see part of this. I see part of this. I get it. But yeah, it's not that I don't agree with you. I agree Hermes is the more reliable of the two. But I don't find myself asking myself why I'm not migrating. I think it's because I'm building a separate system in parallel, right? So it's like I'm scratching that itch, so to speak. But who knows? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. So far, my week looks like it's going to be a lot of watching Anthropic fall apart. You're being sued over the usage allowance on the $200 sub? Interesting. In what way? I'm very curious. Had to work late, only just... Oh, wow. Well, I hope you can chill and relax now. At least we had... Yeah, I know, right? Ah, okay. Didn't somebody say that... I won't say it. That'd be a direct jab. I won't say it. Okay, nope. It's naming it the actual agent. Yeah, I think if you're going to name the subagents, like they shouldn't have the same name as the department heads. If anything, for now, just call it, subagent 1, subagent 2, etc. Should indicate that they're subagents, because right now it just looks like we have duplicates of Gary in the bullpen and in the executive suite. Same with Warren and Elon. Right? We have to find a different way of labeling the subagents and not just having them adopt their department head. And again, if you do adopt the department head name, it needs to expand to signal that clearly it's a session spawn. Maybe it's Gary. Yeah, maybe that's the solution. Maybe we do, what's the session _ spawn? Interesting take. I mean, the one thing I wish I could do is test Fable 5, with my default agent profile in OpenClaw or Hermes for that fact. But I was not about to pay retail API token cost to test that out. You know what I mean? I could see that. The one part I do agree is like by default in the Claude desktop app, I mean, we're seeing it now, like all it takes is for the government to say something and they pull it. What else are they masking or limiting in any way, right? I think this goes for all frontier models, to be honest. Yeah, I could see this for sure. See here. So that looks good. Ooh, I think I gotta change that up there. Sorry, I'm multitasking for something else I'm working on that while we're waiting for this to finish. Give me 1 second. I want to write this down because I just had a thought that I want to memorize and have it actually stick in my brain. And if you know me on this channel, yes, we live in a digital world. Yes, I type most everything, but when it matters, I write it down. I'm old school like that. We can also, that way you guys aren't looking at half just terminal here. Just keep that open like that. All right. Oof. Yes, love it. I think if anything, no, I don't like that. Oh, shoot. Dark palette, already centralized. Okay, 2D dark surround palette partially. Okay, 3D light by default. Canvas has hard-coded light gradient background, light environment panel, spray lights. One theme source, add theme, light, dark, state and page, persisted local. Toggle, yep, that looks great. Blueprint swap, it's 6 constants plus background 2D mix. Alright. Predicted problems. 3D dark mode is design work, not a color swap. Believable night office needs new lighting. Dim ambient, warm interior point lights. Darker floor plan. Okay. I'm just gonna go with its recommended. I had no arguments with this whole breakdown here. And let me catch up on comments real quick. I don't know how I didn't pin this one. Yeah, I mean, I think this goes with, yeah. I won't expand too much on it because I don't want YouTube to cancel me. If that would lead me down a path of cancellation, being canceled. I think so. One thing, I see both sides going back to that convo, but I also think it's like, I see both sides. Mr. Baker going off. Old school for the win. Yeah. That's true. And you know what's funny is, I don't want to show what I was writing, but they are post-it notes in like a lined format. So they're bigger post-it notes so I can write more on them. I love it. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, listen. I love debates, right? I hope nobody sees this as an argument. I think it's more of a debate than anything, right? It's, I see and respect both viewpoints. That's the best I could say. I don't have much to chime in on it, so I'll let y'all duke it out in the comments. But I hope you duke it out in a friendly manner. You know what I mean? Because it's all just good vibes around here. All right, let me finish this thought though, because had to mute my mic. Make sure that you didn't just hear that cough. Nice, I love it. I'll leave that out for now. I need to figure out the best terminology for this primary workflow. Like that. I think I'm going to need to create a tool to make this easier. And rather not easier, but all right. Okay. I like it. Yeah, for sure. Well said. Well said. Going back to it, well said. Well said. I know I didn't read this line for line, but well said. Yeah. And listen, I feel like our gut feeling 9 times out of 10 does not lie to us. So go with your gut. Follow your gut. Yeah, me too. Me too. Real question is, will aliens step in when we start abusing the synthetic super intelligent? Why is that blocking consciousness that we create? That's the even crazier question I wonder about. Yeah. I mean, who's to say that what just happened was masked as Amazon, but really this third party? You never know. Like, could it? I think anything's possible. You know what I mean? I think anything's possible. Okay, so now it's just calling it subagent. I gotta fix this. I think if anything, session spawn, and then it should show the root of who spawned that session, right? Could have sworn I told it to do that. Why is it labeling it subagent number? Let's see. We'll just wait. Hey, what's up, Derek? I hope you're having a great start to the week. Thanks for stopping by. Ah, man, I'm wishing you and the family all the best, man. Wishing you all the best. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have as good of a week as possible, you know? Yeah, Cuban said it right here. Prayers up for Derek. Haha. Yeah, could be. Yeah, Derek, you chimed in at an interesting point of the live stream. We're just talking possibilities. We're talking possibilities. That's the word I'm gonna leave it at. While I'm working on a few things on the side, while we're also waiting for Opus 4.8 to improve on Claw Crib here for us. We're just vibing our way through this build. Okay, that pathing was solid right there. It does go diagonal here. It does this weird, okay, he stopped. He's now going back. Let's see what happens here. Oh, why did they choose the same lane? That's what I don't, what is going on here? This is where listen, Fable could be so much more useful. But that's, I feel like where Fable would come in handy right there. Like, oh. He's working, so I'll let him do his work. He should resolve that. Yep. Hey, I don't think Kevin Garnett is wrong. I don't think he's wrong there. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, okay. Maybe it's not done yet. Oh, wow. That's just too black. Like, there's no differentiator of like where the wall and where the empty void is. Got to fix that. Whereas in light mode, we have 2 different shades of light, right? Interesting. Ooh, I gotta say, oh, I'm a big light mode buff, so I like this one. But this one looks more like traditional. 2D, cool. This one looks great because the color. So I think the solution in 3D is dark mode shouldn't adopt this, you know, a black wall, because it just looks like, I mean, you can kind of see the border there. Hold on. I think it's because this monitor also has I'm just checking the actual live stream footage. So you guys can actually see the definition or the separation a little bit better than I can on this monitor. But I still think the walls should be a different color. Something that complements a dark mode a little bit better. But let's let him finish. Maybe he's not done yet. Yeah, prayers up, Derek. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Actually realize yeah, so stay tuned for Wednesday. Also, I'm thinking ahead. If I live stream, we might start a little earlier than normal, so I can at least live for maybe an hour before we before the Portugal game. Sorry, I just got distracted by something here. Right. Still hard to refresh here. All right, not a bad first pass. So in isometric 2D in dark mode, the walls stand out. But in the 3D dark mode, the walls are black on the black background. I think we should make them stand out a little bit better right? Let's pick a different color palette for the walls in dark mode on the 3D specifically. That's my only comment so far. Oh, did I really just cancel that on accident? The negatives of having your speech to text button right next to escape. Yeah, so the only note I have right now is the 3D view dark mode. The walls are black. On that black background, it makes it very hard to differentiate the wall from the empty space behind it. So just like you did in 2D, I'm not saying the walls need to be orange and blue, but in the 2D isometric mode in dark, like it looks okay because the walls are a different color. They're not black, right? That's really my only note as of now. Let's try doing some type of warm color so that it's not too bright and blinding in dark mode on the walls. All right, give me 1 second. Bio break, BRB. Sorry about that. I'd also primarily get some ice cubes for the rest of this coffee. I actually remember that. My genuinely honest opinion is that when we do finally get AGI, it won't be 1v1 big general purpose model. It would be a huge swarm of small specialist models working as one. What up, Maestro? Welcome. How you doing? Hey, can't argue that, man. Thanks for stopping by. Ah, okay. Good to know, Mr. Spice. I had no clue. I'm sure I'm more of a visual person. Like, I may not know the name to something, but if I've played it before, chances are I'll recognize it, right? Okay. A little bit of a better palette. All right, almost there. I think we're halfway there. I like the approach you're taking on the wall. Let's maybe do some type of warmer, I don't want to say orange, but just a warmer kind of, I don't know if I told you this keyword, ambient color to it. I don't even think that's the proper way to describe a color, but we'll see. Why do I smell pineapple? That is the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest thing, I'll tell you. A little bit better, a little bit better. I like it actually. So it's more of a brown than anything, it looks like. I wonder how many people are just blinded with that. Okay. Amber sandstone over a warm floor slab. Okay, I like it. The dark mode is at a good stopping point. Yeah, I'm not going to work on these two yet. I feel like we might be at a good stopping point here. I need to make some improvements to my OpenClaw system as well. I'm going to take the time before I work on this again to convert any old predefined session spawn, aka subagents, with their own agent workspaces. Probably indistinguishable either way. Flashbang! Been building out video editing with OpenClaw for new TikTok channel for my podcast. Nice, nice, nice. You know, I just had this thought the other day of like, we're already at a point where in theory, if you feed one OpenClaw agent a ton of context and documentation on how, for example, I'm going to use DaVinci Resolve in this case, how to edit videos in DaVinci Resolve, it could, in theory, go and edit a video for you. Now, what will be the quality of this video? I guess it depends on the complexity of the video, but like imagine us finding something we like on YouTube of somebody showing a process on DaVinci Resolve, and instead of learning the steps myself, I copy that link, feed it to that agent, that DaVinci Resolve video editor, and say, hey, I want you to apply this on the next video you create, right? Like we're close. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think we're there, but it's incredibly buggy and requires a lot of human intervention. But I'd be curious to see like how exactly you're using your OpenClaw agents to edit those videos. Yeah, of course. I realized I forgot to give you a link last time you were on the live, so forgive me there. But I remember, you're technically an OG, man. You've been commenting, you've been watching for months, and wanted to make sure we get you in there before, excuse me, before we open it up to the public, because I'm taking a snapshot in the Discord. Everybody who joined up until a certain point in time become OGs. But then I'm going to open up the Discord for the Wild Wild West, for the public, for everybody to come in. But we're essentially going to have a 3-tiered Discord server moving forward. The 3rd tier isn't going to be deployed for quite some time. I did the foundation of it over the weekend, but the idea that comes with that is forthcoming, right? That's a little bit further down the line, right? But when I do open up the Discord server, there's just essentially going to be OGs and community. And OGs, listen, that group is going to be static. We're not going to add any more to it. It's just a snapshot from a certain point in time to the past. And then you also get your own bot. Pinch is the public community bot. Clay I've repurposed. We rebuilt Clay. He's now the OG bot since he's our OG resident bot. And then Duke is going to be our VIP bot. All right. Let's see. Let me make sure I covered everything. Listen, I think we're at a great stopping point. I was going to do one other thing, but I know that would take me past an hour and past another hour at least. And I got to run some errands this afternoon. So listen, this was fun building in public. Drop a 1 in chat if you're excited for Claw Crib. We'll try to get this version 3 rebuild of it live as soon as possible. You know, as with anything, I don't want to rush it out there, but at the same time, I'm not going to keep adding on tasks to the point where we're not going to ship it. We'll ship it sometime this month, maybe as soon as next week or the end of this week. But just show me that you're interested in using this and interested in helping me beta test this, and we'll get this out there sooner than later. So I want to just take the time to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me on a Monday here. Yeah, thank you, Cuban. Got to make that brick oven pizza. I wish, dude. I wish. I don't have that here. I wish. But thanks for stopping by, Maestro. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Peter. Appreciate you. As always, thanks for commenting. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great start to the week. And this is tentative. I don't know if I'm streaming Wednesday. Portugal World Cup game sadly comes first in this case. So I'm going to call my sister after stream, see what she's up to. But, you know, if we do stream, it'll be earlier than normal and it will be very, very short. But otherwise, I'll see you Friday, same time. Thank you, Mr. Spice. Thank you, Cuban. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you once again, Peter. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Derek. Prayers up. Wishing you all in the family all the best over there. Thank you, Calvin. Yeah, I think I remember now. Thank you, Calvin. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Thank you, Sharma. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you, Fourth. I can't keep scrolling, so I can't pin anything else. But oh, and thank you, Sean. Little silent watcher. All right. Yeah. Thanks, group. We'll see you, worst case, we'll see you back here on Friday, same time. Until then, happy building. Cheers.